Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. I hope you're having a great day so far. So far, so good, right? I don't know about you guys, but we're expected to get some rain on Sunday. Obi was laying down sunning herself. She's so cute. I got the call. You know that call that you get? Anybody who's ever ordered birds, you get that call and you answer the phone and you hear in the background before they even say anything, you hear chip, 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 chip. And I'm like, they're calling and telling me to come get my birds. I just know it. So anyway, I got the call. So I'm headed, means making an extra trip into town today because I have to go later and pick up Frank from FFA, but I don't want to leave the birds at post office all day because, you know, I know they have like a little heat lamp supposedly set up in the back, but I've heard some horror stories over the years of people trusting that for too long. And anyway, better safe than sorry. I try to get them as soon as I can, within reason. Once they call me and say that they're there. One time I actually drove to Tupelo to pick them up because they happened to call me along the way and they were going to be in Tupelo overnight, and it was when my geese were coming. And she said, hey, they're going to be in Houston tomorrow, but I can tell that they're a larger fowl, and like I just thought I'd call you to see if perchance you wanted to make the drive up here to get them today. And I was like, I'm glad you called, thank you, and I would love to come get them. So I did. But anyway, so I'm going to get the meat birds. We got 50 meat birds, and guys, I'm so excited because it's just the first batch. We've got another batch of 50 coming in like 5 or 6 weeks, or 4 or 5 weeks rather. And so it just, to me, guys, I don't know about you, but when it's kind of gets to be, I know this is fall spring right now. I know it's beautiful weather right now. I know this weekend it's going to be, we're supposed to get rain again this weekend, and I know they're talking in February that we might have another, Arctic blast ice storm. They're saying we might have round 2. We'll see. But once you kind of, start with the birds, it's like, man, it's kind of the beginning of the feel of coming out of that cold and the beginning of spring and all of that. So it's kind of exciting, I can see the green starting to pop up some places, because we did have that, once that ice thawed and then we got a little bit warm, we had some rain and then it got warm. And so, there's patches of grass growing and some of the trees are starting to perk up, which also, like I said, it makes me nervous because it is fall spring and that can kind of mess with some of your plants, especially your fruiting and flowering varieties. It can kind of mess up their cycle a little bit. So we'll see. But, as far as the birds go, like I said, I've seen them out there starting to be amorous with each other. And so it's getting to be that time of year, and that's exciting. It just means that we're inching closer and closer to it being spring and summer and all those wonderful things that go along with welcoming the next season. So I get excited when we get our first new hatch of the year. And I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm going to fire up the incubator this year. Honestly, I think part of that's going to depend on my ducks, to be honest, because I've got, a whole new flock of Muscovies. And with my old group of Muscovies, I had really proven dedicated mamas. They were really good at their job. Very rarely did I ever incubate their eggs. I really only did it when I was kind of filling up the incubator, if I was doing some chicken eggs or if I was doing some turkeys and I needed something to kind of fill to help teach the turkeys, especially since the turkeys and the Muscovies incubation period is much more similar, longer period of time on that breed of turkey that I was doing anyway. So it would work out really well. But with these guys, I don't know if they're going to be, I mean, historically the species is good at being moms, but every offshoot of every group, you never know how good they're going to be, right? So that's where I'm at right now. So if I see that they're not really making clutches, or if they're just kind of laying sporadically and they're not really making a nest, and I notice them not sitting and getting broody, then I might pull a clutch and incubate and do some that way, which I don't want to have to do, because then that means I have to brood them. Whereas if the moms hatch them out, I don't have to worry about brooding them and doing all that. But at least ducks, they're not, you don't have to brood them for as long, because they feather out so quick. And they sort of just adapt a lot faster in a lot of ways. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal if I do, but so we'll see. I may not bust it out this spring. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how that goes. But just got the brooder set up yesterday, which I've set it up a little bit differently this year. I'm using a different container, because originally, guys have heard us talking about it was going to be in the second half of the coop that's out there, and we were kind of joking about it on our live on Wednesday, saying that what's going to come out first, Tim from Ridge Life's dozer video, or are we going to finish the coop and get the finished coop video out? Because the coop is technically not finished. The coop is functional on one side, but it's it's housing birds, but it's not finished. So that needs done, and it's one of those things where one of the ways we were going to solve for getting power out there for when we were brooding, kind of had to switch gears on that, and we've got a new way we're going to run power now, I think. So that changes things a little bit, and so we'll have a video coming out about that probably in the next few weeks. That will get done, and we'll have a video coming out about kind of our power solve and running new power lines, and what that's going to look like. So that'll be kind of exciting, because that's going to be changing some things for us with regards to our ability and usage of the shop that's out there. It's going to make it more of the ability to use it as more of a shop / barn in some ways, which for me, of course, is exciting. Because for me, when I first saw the house, I'm not going to lie, when I saw the shop, my instant thing was, great, I'm going to make that a barn. And Mike was like, no, I need a shop. And I was like, since when do you need a shop? To me, a shop is like, you work on a car out in a shop. You tinker in a shop. And, I know there's like woodworking shops and things like that, but my immediate thing goes to, you're changing the oil in your truck or your whatever. I don't know. And that's just not, I don't know. To me, it was like, but it makes more sense to make it a barn in my brain, right? But of course, that was never going to fly. So, so it's definitely a shop. And then, of course, all the many tractors and things are parked under the shop overhang. But we've got some ideas coming and some changes coming. We've kind of spent this winter sort of planning some things that we're going to do, some things that we thought we were going to do. We're going to kind of change gears a little bit and go a few different routes on some things. We're going to be working on building an outdoor kitchen as well. And that kind of, I think that's going to fall kind of third on the list of things as far as building and starting. But we'll see, again, because I love my husband, but he does get very ADD when it comes to projects. So, and I've always thought like, oh, YouTube will help keep him accountable for that, because, he'll have to start it and finish it to be able to show it, but that has not been the case. So I don't know. It is what it is, right? Who knows? It is what it is, but we do what we can. Long story short, eventually all things will get done, in theory, right? So And, you know, everything just takes time and money. So you just have to kind of space things out. And that's, you know, that's understandable too. So, you know, and it always seems like when you have enough money, you don't have enough time. And when you have enough time, you're out of money. So it's, you know, it's one of those like juggling games a little bit, right? But guys, yeah, I'm super excited. On my way to get these birds. It's a great way to kick off the weekend here, I think, and get these guys settled in their new pop-up brooder. And if you want to know what that's all about, you're gonna have to check out today's, hopefully posted today. It should post today as you guys are seeing this on 3 Mississippi. There's a kind of a fun video for you on there today with some adventures we had out in the woods retrieving a deer, a little project I was working on, and then our little pop-up brooder that I got set up for these guys because I wanted to go a little cheaper route, a different route, maybe a little easier cleaning and moving route. We're going to see how it holds up, but it's you'll have to kind of pop over there and look at that video to see it. But I think it's going to work. I hope it's going to work. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to change gears again. So, which I don't want to have to do mid-brood, ideally. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, guys, I hope you're having a really, really blessed day so far. I hope you are ready for a wonderful weekend and all that it has to offer with your family and friends and projects and all of that good stuff. So as always, guys, stay blessed and safety's off.